Montez got it back to Carfagna. Gunnar Wolf-Fontaine held scoreless last night as Montez puts a shot blocked by Christensen. Rebound to Carfagna, off the boards to Fontaine. Carfagna, Montez, far side. Gunnar Wolf-Fontaine takes a rip, goes too high and rattles around the boards and into the neutral zone. First 30 seconds, Ohio State generating some offense. Carfagna right back in on the man advantage. Wraps it around the boards, Crespo to it first. Nittany Lions can't clear, now they can. Goes off the body of Christensen and back into the side of Logan Turnus.
So top unit for Ohio State last night, they were looking for a nice touch pass in the middle to Davis Burnside. On a one-timer, it would go Fontaine from the near circle inside to Burnside. Penn State shut that down since the second period of last game. They've got to find something new on the top unit.
Jake Rozzi goes and gets the puck, gets it around to Jake Dunlap. Rather, Joe Dunlap, that is. Jake scratched here tonight. Penn State with another clear. Under 50 seconds to go on the man advantage. Rozzi through center ice into the attacking side. Dumps it off for Dunlap. Dunlap to McBrayer, who opened the scoring a night ago. Hanson, Bucata. A weak pass, got it back. McBrayer, Dunlap. That one blocked aside by a body out in front. Ohio State finds it. Far side Rozzi, now to Dunlap. Back to the far side circle with Rozzi. Dunlap, his rip. That hits off a body and Guzzo out in front. Another chance. Got the side of the net that time. Under 15 to go. Hanson Buchanan. That shot also blocked. Carson Dick in the way that time. McBrayer goes and collects on the near side boards. Shade about to be out of the box. Rozzi, far side circle, skates in. Power play over. Shot gloved down by Sergeyev. And Ohio State now 0 for 5 on the weekend, but some opportunities their first time through tonight.
Yeah, it was honestly a great power play. First unit, they didn't generate many opportunities, but they had good puck possession in the offensive zone. Walk through some highlights here. You'll see the save most recently from Sergeyev. Unit 2 used the same bumper play into the middle to Dunlap. It went McBrayer to Dunlap in the middle. So Ohio State knows, okay, our top unit's not getting away with it. Maybe the second unit can. You're seeing Ohio State has to read off Penn State's kill. Penn State's going to read back now. So we're going to see different looks tonight on the power play, but both teams, great job in their respective special teams unit in the first go.
Now 29 versus 29 in the far side face-off circle, Gordon and Lawback. Lawback returned to the lineup yesterday after battling an injury listed as day-to-day. Genev gets the puck off the face-off. Penn State 3-on-2 if they hurry. Lawback pinched on those far side boards, skates in. His feed missed, but Fascia gets it. Now across to Genev. Genev tied it late last night. Centering feed missed. Fascia throws one in the direction of Turnus. Too many bodies. Puts it in the near side corner. That one at the blue line. Shot did get through to Turnus. The Lions couldn't get the rebound. Fink with 2 goals last night was closest to it. Just under 3 minutes as a length of the ice pass to Fink. There's a stick in the way by John Larkin, who's playing in just his 3rd game of the season. Played in his first 2 a week ago against Minnesota. Scratched last night, but back in the lineup today as this puck gets out to the neutral zone and back in the Ohio State defending side. Turnover by Wahlberg. DeMarcigo gets it. Wrapped up that time by Nathan Lewis. Carter Shade takes a rip. Save made by Turnus with the pad. Shade, another attempt, gets through the defense. On the near side boards, now he wraps it around. And Larkin gets it. A couple lineup changes for Ohio State. We mentioned Logan Turnus, but also have now mentioned Nathan Lewis and John Larkin, replacing Dylan Godbout and Brent Johnson. It's a dangerous pass. Dowiak, his shot blocked up at the line. Rebound for Mack. That one gets bodied. Wahlberg. Lugris had a backhand opportunity to go to the side of Turnus's net. So Penn State humming early after Ohio State had a few good chances. Now Thompson, that shot blocked by Christensen. Already his 2nd block here tonight. Ben Schoen. Schoen will wrap it around the boards. Mack goes and chases on the other side. Carfagna to it, but he overplayed it. Penn State with the puck. Deep, it's Dick. Fascia couldn't handle the pass, and the puck out to the neutral zone. Long pass to the other blue line, but Dunlap off his skate. Christensen will dump it around. Christensen gets off. After doing just that, here comes Fink. Fink backhands it into Peters, and Peters loses it. Rozzi with it. Patrick Guzzo left last night's game early, gets it to Dunlap. Dunlap whiffs on his shot, now Fink has it. Fink with Geneiev, and a big hit collision between Fink and Dunlap. Dunlap down on the ice, they're both back up. 5 minutes down. An uneventful first period on the stat sheet, but certainly an eventful first period on the ice, as this one down for icing. 14:52 to go in the opening period, and there you see Guy Gadowski. 13th season as the head coach of the Nittany Lions, 219, 196, and 31 overall. And Hayden, we mentioned it last night, but Guy Gadowski has his team playing the best hockey of the season at a critical time where they're trying to escape the basement of the Big Ten.
Yeah, and it's a team that came into the season was playing really good hockey to start the year. They got away from their structure. That's the biggest thing. They stopped playing hard and physical and puck battles around the boards. They weren't getting pucks on net. Once they returned to that, things started to turn around. It's just a hard conference, right? The Big Ten's a very difficult conference to win in. 4 teams in the top 10. So Penn State had to figure out how to win with such a young team this year.
4-1-3 over their last 8. Unbeaten outside of that Michigan State Game 1. Game 2, they got the shootout win, as they did here again last night. Also a shootout loss thrown in there against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who they trail by 2 points. Gordon takes a rip. That one got onto Sergeyev, and he goes and covers it up.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
But everybody here was fortunate to get some free action.
And it had Pegula buzzing early again today, as a little mic problem with the national anthem, and the fans quickly jumped in. And you could tell the energy was palpable in this building following the upset shootout win a night ago, as the Nittany Lions, their fans are looking to propel them to a 5-point weekend. And a win would put them ahead of Notre Dame in the standings, the Big Ten. As Hanson Buchata has it at the blue line. Dumps it down low, Davis Burnside. Burnside, captain, throws it up to Hanson Buchata. He puts one on, Sergeyev makes the initial save and covers the rebound. Jens with 8:45 to go, and pushing and shoving ensues.
It's hard to get a feel right now on this game, because for Penn State, they're just throwing every puck they get north. They're trying to get in Ohio State's zone and forecheck and create, which has led to 3 shots. And then Ohio State's just trying to weather the storm here early. Neither team's really established full control over the game yet. It's because they're playing polar opposite styles of hockey right now.
This was a similar trend in the first period last night, before Nathan McBrayer with 3:33 to go in the period. But Ohio State on the board had plenty of room right out in front of Arseny Sergeyev. Turnover in the defensive side. Rozzi has it. It was a lane right in the middle, but Casey Ahmed, a strong defensive play. The pass down low was deflected by Danny Geneiev. Dunlap, far side boards. Moves in, takes a shot, blocked by Geneiev. Dunlap has it back on his stick. Shade delivers yet another blow. And now leaves one right out in front. Rozzi, save made, but whistle came first. So Ohio State, and Dunlap tried to reciprocate the hit on Shade, and instead will head to the box as Shade's slow to get up.
It was a good eat by Shade there. He got crushed in the corner. Reese Laubach's lucky to not get a matching minor for slashing after the whistle. Saw the little look here in your corner. He gets crushed from behind by Dunlap. It's a clear board. There's the slash from Laubach at the end of the clip. I think Carter Shade did a good job of selling it too. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. He got hit. He waited a second, then he dropped because he saw the near official didn't put his hand up. He wanted the guy behind him to maybe throw one up to go on the power play.
Penn State had a power play tally a night ago, coming off the stick of Aiden Fink. Fink out on the ice, looking to take sole possession. A power play leaderboard in Penn State history. Fink takes a rip. That one goes to the right of Turnus. Lawback. Now Mack. Mack down low to Lawback. Lawback, near side circle. Waits, takes a shot, looks for the deflection, doesn't have it, goes to the far side and deflects into the neutral zone. Mack goes and collects. Penn State looking to catch Ohio State in a change, can't quite. Good, strong play by Lewis. Lewis the other way, pass across to Gordon. Gordon, at that time by Dowiak. Dowiak and Mack get the puck back for Penn State. 1:15 to go on the power play. Nittany Lions struggling to get it out of their own zone. As Geniev feeds Fink, back to Geniev. Geniev right across the Nittany Lion logo. Dowiak plays it into the zone. Lewis goes and steals it again and is able to clear it all the way down to Arseny Sergeyev.
Can't have success on a power play if you can't enter the zone. I thought Reese Lawback made a really good play in the early goings of the power play, that cross-ring pass to Fink, that he forced a couple that ended up being turnovers.
DeMarco left a pass for Luger as Thomas Wise stick in the way. But strong defensive start for the Buckeyes. Over 77% on the kill this year. DeMarco skates in with strength, puts one on a Turnus, turned aside and cleared back down to Sergeyev. 20 seconds left. Sergeyev plays it up to Lugris. Lugris to DeMarco at the blue line. Tried to play it off the boards back to Lugris. Carfagna in the way of it. Montez. Now it's center. DeMarco misses the backhand. Lugris to Shade. Penalty expiring. Lugris with one last chance. Gets taken down. And now Ohio State. Dunlap right out of the box. Dunlap leaves it behind. And a great play. Ben Schoen sniffs out the chance. Penn State the other way. DeMarco gets taken down. Huge hit. Delivered that time by McBrayer. As Ohio State's got the energy now.
Can't do the same move twice in a row on the same guy.
Hong into the attacking side for the Buckeyes. Peters pins him. Puck comes free. Montez and Crespo fight for it. Hanson Bucata loses it at the blue line. Serfano goes and chases. Extra skater for the second straight night for the Nittany Lions. As a dangerous pass, Hanson Bucata helped out his goaltender and Turnus that time. Wahlberg sends it up to Burnside, too hard. Crespo sends it back the other way for the Nittany Lions, touched up at center ice. Wahlberg sends it up for Burnside. Thompson faked the pass, now skates in. Thompson leaves it. That shot save made. Sergeyev. Hanson Bucata. Chance denied. Aiden Hanson Bucata has had an incredible season for the Buckeyes. Transferring from RIT and has been a staple at the blue line, but generating offense from the blue line he is. And now Penn State breaks out. Simon Mack. And Mack in the attacking side puts a shot that goes to the right of Turnus. Christensen wraps it around the boards for his D partner Mack, and Mack puts this one right into the chest of Logan Turnus.
Teal Wahlberg's really struggling to make tape-to-tape passes. He's playing a lot worse today than he did yesterday. Simon Mack and Cade Christensen both joined the rush here. That shot that went around the boards. Penn State's lucky that Christensen was going down the boards there. If that skips away, Ohio State has a 3-on-1 the other way against Reese Lawback, the center of the line, because nobody else stayed back to hold the blue. That's the little things that can cost you a goal in a game like this.
Face-off one back by Guzzo. Played into center ice, floated. Shade will chase it with Dunlap pressuring him. Lawback gets punched in by Guzzo. Geniev shot right out in front. Save made. Rebound there momentarily, but Turnus goes back and gets it for Ohio State.
That's another one, too. Turnus is struggling to handle the puck right now. He's struggling to smother things and make it a clean save. You see the shot again. Good job by Geniev to change the angle of the shot with the toe drag there into the release. You see a lot of guys do that now. It's the Connor Bedard shot, the Austin Matthews shot. Those guys have perfected it. That's why they're playing in the National League. But it throws goalies off. Every goalie will tell you it's hard to track a puck when you do that.
Guzzo wins another defensive zone draw for Ohio State. Another floater into the neutral zone, and Penn State, Casey Almond cleared it into the Buckeye bench. Looked like it may have gotten a piece of Eberly. 4:11 to go in this opening period. This is nearing the time where Nathan McBrayer got Ohio State on the board a night ago. McBrayer on the ice as Ohio State goes and changes.
Ohio State winning the face-off battle right now. They're up 8-5 respectively with Penn State. That's a big change from last night. Penn State usually dominates the face-off dots. Their best guy, Charlie Serrato, he's not here this weekend. He's hurt. He's injured day to day. So Penn State missing a huge guy at the face-off dot this weekend.
Penn State won 41 of 67. That's 61.2% last night. Even without their best face-off guy, they lose another one here. Ohio State's 9th face-off win. Buckeyes back in their defending side, now in the neutral zone. Floated. Carter Shade dumps it down with his hand. Still goes to the Buckeyes. Deck cut right at the blue line. Play it deep. Chasing it, Gordon. Played back, Shade. Deck cut. Good stick that time from Dowiak. As a scrum ensues near side boards. 2 Buckeyes, 2 Nittany Lions. Nittany Lions back in their home white and blues. Ohio State still in their road reds. As this puck still not moving. Comes back out to the blue line. Carfagna centering feed to Wise as he is taken down by Shade. Second straight night that Carter Shade has been involved early. Last night it was more on the offensive side. Tonight Carter Shade doing everything defensively for the Nittany Lions.
He's been real good the second half of this season so far.
Takedown at center ice, no penalty. DeGraves a little shaken up. Nittany Lions still playing. Fascia's shot goes wide. DeGraves limping off to the bench, struggling under his own power. Crespo goes and collects. DeGraves off, Keaton Peters on. Peters, far side. That shot goes high. Collected by Montez. Passes off, far side. Montez gets it back. Good stick that time from Peters, ties him up. And then Nittany Lions the other way. Marsko have to dump it. Nittany Lions changing. Turnus played it with his stick into the corner.
Unbelievable back check from Keaton Peters. He's lucky too. All 3 Penn State forwards turned down by the goal line. That's something you don't do when you got a back check. He got lucky, he got on his horse and got back in the play there.
Just over 2 minutes left in this first period. 0-0 the score between the Buckeyes and Nittany Lions as Paquette able to get it out of the zone for Penn State. Hanson Buchetta trying to generate the offense, gives it off to T.O. Wahlberg. Wahlberg with speed, plays it around the boards. Mack's going to cut off Thompson. Thompson comes back and pins him. Puck comes free. It's the Nittany Lions and Tyler Paquette back out of the zone. Six on 5. That's the shots in favor of Penn State. As Hanson Buchetta looks to generate and quarterback the offense from behind Turnus. Too hard on the pass. Now it'll lead to another scrum. Rozzi gets it. Kept in at the blue line. Put deep and a leg save that time by Sergeyev. Just kicked it away. It keeps this game knotted at 0. 60 seconds to go in the period. Carfagna at the blue line. Rozzi. Good job by Shade to knock that puck out of the zone. Ohio State quickly put it right back into the Penn State defending side. 45 to go. Fink the lone Nittany line in the attacking side. Chasing the puck. That Carfagna has. Now Rozzi. Eyeing Gordon. Gordon banged up earlier in the period, but has played all of his shifts. As this shot gets on to Sergeyev, he turns it aside. That one came from Will Smith at the blue line. This one cleared down the length of the ice, and it goes for icing with 21.1 to go.
I think for the Buckeyes, you're fine having your 4th line out here. They played exceptional last night. Thomas Wise was a +4, had a goal and an assist. Ryan Gordon had an assist, was a +1, and then Deckut a +3. Here's a shot from the point. If you remember, Guy Gadowski right now, he's at the bench. He's going to talk about the knee-on-knee that we saw DeGraves go down. So he may be asking, hey, can I challenge that? Why is there no call? My guy's clearly injured. He got kneed. But if you're Ohio State, you're happy with this line here. They're setting up a face-off play right now. You see Deckut. He's going to take the face-off against Dane Dowiak. They have Thomas Wise stationed right behind his backhand side for a quick one-timer that they want to put on Sergeyev. So Dowiak's goal here is do everything it takes to keep the puck from going straight back. So he's going to try and win one toward the wall to Mack. And then if you're Deckut, you need to pull it all the way back in. There's the hit again. Pretty clear, not something you can challenge, though.
Officials give their 2 cents to Gadowski. 21-1 to go in the period. Deckut, crucial offensive zone face-off for the Buckeyes. Going to score late. Wins it. Wise takes the shot. Christensen, it was off his leg. Again in the lane is the freshman and Cade Christensen. It was a -1 yesterday, but still a +13 on the season. Trails only Simon Mack on the Nittany Lions team. Under 5 to go. Christensen with it on his stick. Period's going to expire with it right there. And at the end of 1, it's 0-0 between the Buckeyes and the Nittany Lions. And the puck battle goes to Riley Thompson, and Ohio State controlling the faceoffs early in this game. That's now 11-5 in favor of the Buckeyes. A complete switch from a night ago, but still time. As Dylan Lugris finds the free puck. Lugris will throw deep and chase it. That one got to Dowiak, put a shot wide of Turnus. Now Almond at the blue line, throws it deep. Dowiak far side. Dowiak was a spark plug last night in the Nittany Lions comeback efforts as Dowiak takes down Burnside at center ice. Almond touched up by Fink. William Smith to it first. Tries to play it out. He does so. It goes all the way down to Sergeyev, and that'll go for icing with 19:11 to go in period 2. So no penalty 7 seconds into this period as it was in the last.
Trying to look down the bench right now to see if I see Nicholas DeGraves, who was upended in first period. Justin's giving me the thumb up, so he sees him. He's got better eyesight than I do. I see him now, too, right next to Guy Gadowski. That's a big thing for Penn State to get that second-line center back in the lineup for period 2.
See him right to your left of Gadowski, the 17 jersey. Face off one back, but Davis Burnside goes and hustles to it into the attacking side for the Buckeyes. Now Guzzo, his shot ricochets off of Christensen again, and Penn State clears it into the neutral zone. Rozzi loses that one. That's Reese Lawback working with Fink to knock the puck free. Fink up to Geniev. Geniev mishandles it at that blue line. Still deep for the Nittany Lions. Lawback put it behind him for Fink. Now Fink turns around and shoots it. Goes wide off Turnus. Guzzo. It's left behind Lawback and Geniev. Lawback gets sent down by Guzzo. Geniev gets sent down, and Penn State will go on the power play for the second time tonight.
It's going to be a hold. Not sure which guy they're sending to this send bin quite yet. The thing to note, with Turnus in the net tonight, he's 6 foot tall. Last night, Eberle at 6'4", 2 different sizes for goalies. So Turnus, he's much quicker in his paint. The way Penn State beat Eberle last night, moving pucks side to side, getting it around him because he played so out in his crease. Turnus, you see there, that shot, he sits deeper in his paint, kind of like Sergeyev does, but he's quicker than Sergeyev because he has that smaller body to work with. So to beat him, it's just, you got to beat him with a clean shot. The side-to-side will work in the right situations, but you've got to beat him with clean shots.
McBrayer is the one who committed the hold, and Penn State up a man for 2 minutes. We'll send out Ben Schoen to face Deckut, and Penn State gets the face-off. Lugris and Shade at the blue line. Shade at the Big Ten logo. Shot gets on. Eberle Turnus sends it down. Ben Schoen that time with a shot that got unevaded, or was unevaded in its path to Logan Turnus. And Ohio State clears it down the length of the ice. So Penn State generates an early opportunity. It generated a late opportunity on their earlier power play. And 1 for 3 last night with Aiden Fink capturing the power play goal. Fink's line on the bench now is shown. Tried to center one. Puck bounced off some bodies. DeMarco turns around. It's blockered high that time from Turnus. Wahlberg trying to catch up to the puck. Schoen puts a nice play on it. Shuffles it up top to Shade. Shade to Schoen. Schoen leaves it behind DeMarco. Skates around, takes a shot, and that one is gloved by Turnus. 54 seconds to go on the power play. And Penn State will bring out the second unit, as will Ohio State on the penalty kill.
It's just another, Ohio State's doing a good job of boxing guys out, not letting anybody in front of the eyes of Turnus. Penn State's doing a good job of getting shots, so it's mano-a-mano right now. Both teams are doing the right things on their special teams unit. Somebody's going to win the battle, whether it's a kill or a goal.
Face-off goes to the side, Nittany Lions have it. Simon Mack. Reese Lawback, a stick was broken. It's out there in the way. Everyone's got one now. Geniev, his shot, score! Danny Geniev for the second straight night goes right through Logan Turnus on the power play, and the Nittany Lions have the 1-0 lead with 17:01 to go in the second period.
There it is, a clean shot to beat Turnus, and Penn State now using the bumper guy. Geniev, the bumper role for Penn State on the power play there.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
We're trying to play out of the basement. They also have 2 games in hand on Notre Dame and a series with Notre Dame in 3 weeks. And that one likely to decide that final spot, or at least have a big say in the Big Ten tournament. And that series will be found right here on Big Ten Plus. Hayden Lewis and Josh Bartosik. As Lewis gets pinned up against the board, but not the Hayden Lewis we're talking about. That would be Nathan Lewis. As Matt DeMarco picks up the free puck. DeMarco skates through the entire Buckeye contingent and sends a shot high. Wiebusch finds it near side boards, but loses it. Penn State keeps it in, and Schoen gets lucky. Collision between Fontaine and DeMarco. Gunnar Wolf Fontaine, a name we've called, but nothing to show this weekend for the leading goal getter and point getter for the Buckeyes. The Northeastern transfer has had opportunities, but Penn State has done a good job to silence the leading scorer. On the other side, Ohio State struggled with Fink last night, the leading scorer for the Nittany Lions, as Fink put up 2 goals. Dowiak sent to the ice. Puck comes free. Christensen, his shot blocked by Davis Burnside.
Took way too long on the release there.
Simon Mack is looking for the quick release, but lost possession of the puck momentarily. Manages to get it deep, and Fontaine plays it around for Wahlberg. Burnside, tasked with getting it out, will give it to McBrayer. McBrayer, length of the ice pass to Fontaine. Well, was intended for Thompson, and Thompson's shot. Tough angle. Rolls high. Burnside to the blue line. It's Abel. Abel is looking for Rozzy. Rozzy stick tied up by Simon Mack, and Penn State. Cade Christensen will dump it. He'll let the forwards and Keaton Peters go chase it. Peters and Paquette. Kicked out to Rozzy. Amon keeps it in, and this one up in the air off the glove of Turnus. Turnus has left plenty of pucks right out in front. The shot goes wide off the backboards. Carson Dick, everything he can. Keaton Peters takes a tumble and whiffs on a shot. Carfagna through center ice. Will center it that time for Dunlap. Puck free. Sergeyev kicks it aside and out to Fink. Fink on the far side. Boards Aiden Fink. He rips it wide of Turnus. And now puck scrum. And the near side corner comes free to Reese Lawback. Shade, going to send it deep. Good play that time from Dunlap to keep it up top. But now Penn State, Lawback to Shade. Crespo. Down low. Wraparound opportunity stuffed out by Fink. Delayed penalty. Chance for Lawback, and that one is stiffed out by Turnus, and a late shot attempt by Lawback has the Buckeyes come into push and shove, as the Buckeyes are also going to the box for the third time tonight. And Penn State already has the man advantage goal to their resume.
Likely to be a cross check here. You see that opportunity. Sergeyev had trouble tracking that puck. It was a late poke from Rozzi there. Smith to the sin bin. Believe they signaled high stick, didn't see it. I know he dropped Danny Genev out front. Genev's face mask got popped up, so high stick would make sense.
6:29 to go in the period. 2 minutes of the man advantage for Penn State. It's a minor for high sticking on William Smith. So third penalty that Ohio State has taken. They did so last night too. Penn State got one power play goal last night. They've got one tonight. It was Danny Genev. The lone goal in this contest, and Penn State has really controlled the second period when you take a look at all the numbers. Shots in favor of the Nittany Lions 12-2, and you can only imagine this power play is going to help it. And it starts with the face-off win back to Lugris. Now Shade takes a shot, and that one off a skate of Thomas Wise into the corner. J.J. Weebush pinned up against the board. Puck comes free, and Wise is going to be able to get it out of the defending zone for the Buckeyes into the attacking side. Takes a good chunk of time off as Penn State now has to break out.
Wise has been exceptional on the kill. He's had exceptional weekends for the Buckeyes.
Big game for Wise last night, has continued to have some success here tonight. Nittany Lions can't get the zone entry. DeMarco goes and picks up the puck in their defending side. At DeMarco with 8 goals this season, including 1 last night. Gives it to Schoen. Schoen plays it around the boards. Weebush. Good play by McBrayer. And then DeMarco taken down. Not going to call anything. Lugris picks up the free puck. Lugris passes to Schoen. Schoen leaves it, and Penn State misses the wide open net. He was looking for Weebush. Penn State resets in their attacking side. J.J. Weebush. Simon Mack. Mack to Lugris. Lugris down low. Weebush stick check that time, or poke check rather, from Turnus. Sends Penn State chasing it down the length of the ice. 30 seconds to go on the man advantage. Penn State with a beautiful opportunity, couldn't convert. Nittany Lions go and change their power play unit, just as Ohio State is able to clear the puck down to Arseny Sergeyev. Likely one last chance for Penn State on their third power play of the game, and Aiden Fink skates in with speed, loses the puck below the goal line. Genev plays it up to Mack at the blue line. Mack finds a cutter and Crespo. Crespo shot ricochets wide to the right of Turnus. Power play over. Smith joins it 5-on-5. We're even at Pagula. 4:20 to go in the period. Ohio State breaking out of their zone. It's Lewis. Lewis to Smith. Smith skates in on Sergeyev. Chest save made by the transfer goaltender for the Nittany Lions. And now Fink through center ice. Off the stick, and Penn State's going to be offside. Christian Abel that time. Good play at the blue line. Sending the puck backwards with Fink already in the zone.
Here's the chance again from Weebush. So the way I'm going to describe this to you, Weebush's hips, watch where they're pointed when he gets this puck. Nice pass from Schoen, who puts a lot of steam on it. His hips are pointed directly where he shot the puck. It's like golf. Where your hips are positionally, that's where the puck's going to go. He had to just turn him a little bit to angle him toward the goal. So that's why that one doesn't go in right there.
I'm telling you, we're going to have to put a camera on you sooner rather than later up in this booth. It's the way you describe it. Use your entire body as fascia plays it around the boards. Smith turns it over to Peters. Keep Peters, nice play that time. Deep in the Penn State attacking side. Paquette looks for a lane, instead just leaves it behind. Cervano plays it around the boards to the near side. And Ohio State able to clear it out. James Hong has had a quiet night. First time I think we've called his name. Had a goal when he was left all alone in the center of ice a night ago. 3:30 to go in the period. Penn State clinging to a 1-0 lead that was given to them by Danny Geniev. 3 minutes into the period, or rather 2 minutes and 59 seconds into the period. As Sergeyev plays the puck from behind his net, turns it over to Dunlap. Dunlap whipped. Montez with a chance, and Sergeyev got a piece of it. Now Wiebusch. Montez, rather Hong takes him down. Montez pinned in the boards by DeGraves, who has been looking to deliver the big blow since he's returned to the ice. Under 2:50 to go in the period. Penn State able to get into the neutral zone. Here comes Nicholas DeGraves. DeGraves leaves it for DeMarco. DeMarco, the trailer, puts up a shot that ricochets high over Turnus. Graves with another nice pass, has assists in 3 straight games. It's his first 3 collegiate points. As Christensen's shot is blocked up by Hanson Bucata. Thomas Wise puts one that goes through the crease, and Wahlberg will tip one on, or get one tipped on by Wise, and a sprawling Arseny Sergeyev covers it with 2:11 to go in the period.
Yeah, so that chance springs from a late change from Penn State. There's the one that Arseny Sergeyev made a nice stop on Montez. But Penn State has a late change, so a lot of bodies coming in late into the zone. So the shot's free from the point from Wahlberg. And then Ben Schoen lost Wise out front. He came out of the corner slow. That's why Wise had so much space there to get the tip off. It's little things. The little things can cost you a goal in a shift like that, and they almost did there for Penn State. It's a great shift from the Buckeyes, though.
Crespo nearly turns it over right in front of Sergeyev. It hit off the skate of, I believe, Rossi. Dangerous situation for Penn State. They are able to survive this one as now Lewis puts it off the boards. Guzzo with speed. Guzzo in on Sergeyev, and that shot goes wide. Smith misses on his pass, and Ohio State has to go back to the neutral zone. It's a good opportunity for Patrick Guzzo, who had a goal a night ago. Paquette gloves it down on the near side boards. Manages to get the pass off to Carson Dick, who touches it up in center ice. It's Rossi. Sends that one wide of Sergeyev. Just over 1:15 to go. Played back to Amon. Paquette up to Reese Lawback. Lawback. Carfagna collide. And the puck comes free to Davis Burnside, the captain of this Ohio State team, Riley Thompson. Turns it over as 60 seconds to go in the period. Geniev. Lawback looking for the pass. It's blocked out to center ice. Fink works it around Thompson. Burnside pins Carter Shade. The far side boards. Time ticking away. 35 seconds to go in the middle period. As Fink tries to play it off the boards to Geniev, but Geniev tied up with Carfagna, and that faceoff will go back down to the side of Arseny Sergeyev. Talk about Sergeyev and Turnus today, and mention now they're both UConn transfers. Well, they're UConn teammates. They both spent a season together, the sophomore year of Turnus and the freshman year of Arseny Sergeyev.
Yeah, Sergeyev that year played 19 games, a 9-1-2 between the pipes. Turnus 17 games, a 9-1-3. Pretty even stats for the two netminders that know each other real well and were probably able to give their shooters some tips for each other.
And Turnus came to Ohio State following that year and stayed for a second this year. Arseny Sergeyev in his first season with Penn State as that puck gets into the crowd, and everyone appears to be okay. Second dangerous puck out of play we've seen today. Talking about transfers, Sergeyev comes in to fill the role of Liam Soulier. Soulier stayed in the Big Ten for Minnesota. Sergeyev, when he left with an injury, Penn State season got away from them a little bit. That's why they're playing out of the basement when we showed the Big Ten standings a little while ago. As for the other UConn on the transfer on the other side in Turnus, him and Eberle split a bunch of starts before eventually going in favor of Eberle, but Turnus gets the start tonight. Replaced Eberle in game 2 against Minnesota last week.
So what Penn State did right there, they win the face-off and they're content with icing the puck again because they have tired bodies. So essentially you're getting a couple 30-second breaks between face-offs to allow you guys to get some energy back in the legs late here in the second.
18.2 to go late in the second. Dunlap off the face-off. That shot blocked. It looks like it got a piece of Aiden Fink. Fink favoring his right leg a bit. Just a stinger. As Penn State hopes it's just a stinger as Fink stays out. Casey Amon plays it up off the boards to Fink as the period expires, and it's a period in which the Nittany Lions gain the 1-0 advantage when they score first this season. 9-4-1. They're hoping to make it a 10th win.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
All weekend, but he's played every penalty kill, and he's been great on the penalty kill for Penn State. He's like Thomas Wise for Ohio State.
Wise has had regular shifts thrown in there, though. Cervano, the extra skater, as Fontaine gets it across to Montez. Montez to Carfagna. Quick shot. That one deflects on to Sergeyev. And in! Riley Thompson, the power play goal, ties it for the Buckeyes. And it's new life for the visitors here in game 2.
And it's once again, it's Thompson using his 6'4" frame to his advantage. Down low, it's Dane Dowiak, a forward who's used to being at the top of the kill. He doesn't pick up the stick in front. Thompson has a free blade all over that. It's a beautiful tip right between the wickets. You'll see it again, works up top. Thompson's on the left side of Sergeyev here. Dowiak doesn't have a stick. Dowiak sticks in the air. That's just a coaching point. That's not a guy that's used to being that low on the PK, but that's how the rotation works for the Nittany Lions. Great use of the stick from Thompson. Great job capitalizing there. The shot from the point, finding the stick by Carfagna.
7th power play of the weekend results in the first power play goal for the Buckeyes. Penn State quickly the other way. Lawback loses it, manages to get it back. Turnaround goes wide from Turnus. Both goals tonight on the power play. Riley Thompson, his 10th goal of the season. Now up to 21 points as his 10 goals go with 11 assists, double digits in both major categories. As Chris Abel pins Lawback, a lot of pinning, and now Nittany Lion fans are getting into it, looking for the penalty, but Ohio State comes away with the puck. Extracurriculars behind the play as Geniev with a good stick in the way just sniffed out an opportunity for Montez. Lawback, who was held up by Abel, now goes down to the ice again. And Thomas Wise comes free with the puck. Wise tried to rip it, was off a leg of Dane Dowiak. Aiden Fink puts one on to Turnus. Hanson Bucata lost that one, and Ben Schoen just a little late reacting to it, and it deflects out of play.
That was a bad play from Wahlberg to throw that right to the feet of Bucata. You see the battle down here. Both guys, both sets of players right there. Fink's maybe getting help, but he's also holding on to the stick of Smith down there. And then Lawback was in a battle with Abel. They were both holding each other. That's why there's no call either way. It was 4 guys all holding on to each other, fighting for position. Great job from the crew there to not call anything.
Nothing comes of it, except a lot of boos from this Pagula crowd.
It got the crowd into the game almost.
Crowd that, despite, again, being near capacity, has been quiet. Not much action, especially compared to the game you saw last night. Attendance sits at 6,604. And they're all watching as Rozzi had a step on Mack, but Mack managed to make it up and knock the puck free. Nittany Lions put it out into the neutral zone where it's gloved down by Damian Carfagna. Ohio State gained the line, then lost the line. Christensen, soft pass to DeMarco. DeMarco couldn't handle it. And Burnside loses it at the blue line for the Buckeyes. Under 9:20 to go in the third period. 1-1 contest. And the fourth and final regular season meeting between Ohio State and Penn State. Two Big Ten foes that just love to see one another. It's Carfagna. Near side boards with speed. Leaves one out in front for Fontaine. Just too hard of a pass. J.J. Weebush finds it on the far side boards. Amon can't quite clear it. Thanks to the good play by Thompson, the goal scorer. Good stick that time from Weebush. Knocks it off the stick of Thompson. Chris Abel with it at the blue line. Abel skates around. He's taken down. DeMarco knew it. And it's a trip on Matt DeMarco right back to the power play. Go the Buckeyes. With 8:40 to go in the contest. DeMarco to the box, and the crowd not one bit happy about it. Media timeout at Pagula. 1-1 contest. So power play opportunity for Ohio State coming off their first conversion of the weekend. 1 of 3 today, 1 of 7 in the 2-game set. But they got the game tied, and they got the opportunity on their sticks now. It's Davis Burnside, the captain, skating through center ice. Gets it to Fontaine. Fontaine with room to Thompson. Thompson skates around, backhands it on to Sergeyev. Rebound opportunity. Sergeyev covers it.
Paquette gets overextended there on this look. So he's overextended. They're able to send it side to side. Good move from Thompson out front to work around Mack. The 6'4" reach once again, using it to his advantage to get that around the stick of Mack. The extra couple inches allows him to do so. And Sergeyev struggling with another rebound. That's been the story for both boys. They're struggling controlling the pucks when they come into them.
Felt like Sergeyev early on, wasn't really, but the last couple of attempts, or at least as of late, there's been more rebound opportunities on that side of the ice. Tie up in the circle. Nittany Lions have it. Attempt of a clear fails, but Amon gets the second clear to go down to Logan Turnus. Under 90 seconds to go on the man advantage. 8 minutes remaining in the contest. Both teams looking to pick up 3 points and not just 2. The Big Ten standings. Dunlap feeds one down low to Guzzo. It's stuffed out by a couple sticks that time. McBrayer and Shade battling for it. Guzzo finds the free puck. Plays it up to Rozzi. Anson Buchanan. McBrayer, center of the ice. This is where he did his damage yesterday. Skates on the Big Ten logo. Passes it off to Buchanan. Quick shot from McBrayer. That one deflects aside. McBrayer right back with it. Near side circle or just outside of it. Far side. Rozzi makes Amon look silly. Now Hanson Buchanan puts one on. That one deflects wide. I don't know if that got a Buckeye or a Nittany Lion, but it didn't get through Sergeyev. Far side Rozzi again. Skates around. Gets it into Dunlap. 20 seconds to go on the man advantage. Rozzi plays it to McBrayer, circle to circle. Now up to the logo. Hanson Buchanan, that one blocked down. Puck still free. McBrayer pinned up against the boards. Guzzo has it. Time expiring. Dunlap. He's got Rozzi. Rozzi shot blocked. Another opportunity. Big save, Sergeyev. Power play over. Carter Shade knocked up on the ice. Puck still free behind Sergeyev. Shade holding his arm. 6:30 to go. Penn State survives the Ohio State power play.
That was an unbelievable block from Shade. He ate that one sliding across the ice.
Banged up as he heads to the bench. As a hit from Crespo that time. Sends Burnside down to the ice. Marsko, Crespo. Crespo nearly loses it to the side of Sergeyev. He'll turn it over. Burnside, ripped by Thompson. He misses it. Now Weebush, DeMarco. Under 6 to go. Matt DeMarco takes a shot, glove down by Turnus. That turnover nearly proved costly for the Nittany Lions, but Thompson too hard on his shot. Lost the accuracy.
Here's the block shot from Carter Shade upcoming. There's one off the shin pads. Puck works back across and through again. See which look this is. There's Amon going down. Shade, you see his skates slide across the rink there. He blocked the first when second shot came on to Sergeyev. And Ohio State gets that one-timer opportunity from Thompson late in that shift because DeMarsico and Peters both circled in the neutral zone again instead of stopping. That's been a trend for both teams all week, and it's led to great opportunities.
Ohio State wins the face-off in their defending side. Quickly to their attacking side. Montez brought it in. Left it on the boards. Now Wahlberg. Teal Wahlberg. Hanson Buchanan takes that shot, misses it, and Simon Mack clears it. We'll see if that one will get down there. It won't, so no icing, 5:30 to go. Lewis, near side boards. Through center ice to Montez. Montez, Amon, nice play against those far side boards. Opportunity for Lewis, gets the chest of Sergeyev. So another shot for Ohio State.
Max Montez is a guy that was flying last night that hasn't been as active this game.
So a new Pagula Ice Arena record has been announced here. We told you it earlier, 6,604, but Ohio State has taken the life out of these fans tonight.
Guy Gadowski just looked at the bench and said, let's go, boys, come on, we got a crowd here. I saw his lips moving down the bench talking to the team. He knows they've got the crowd here to pump juice into the squad.
Smith gets one on to Sergeyev off of a deflection. Sergeyev turned it aside. Deckut got the rebound, skates around with it. Sam Deckut plays it low. John Larkin couldn't quite catch up to it. Got instead to Thomas Wise. He lost it. Deckut right back down low. Gets to the stick of Casey Amon. Now on the stick of Thomas Wise. Tyler Paquette finds it for Penn State. Lifts it in the neutral zone. 4:45 to go. Larkin all alone in the attacking side as Ohio State went for the change. Lawback up to Fink. Penn State's top line out there. Fink finds Fascia. Fascia's shot wide of Turnus. And now Guzzo clears it to center ice. Dunlap with it. Enters the zone with 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the third. Dunlap, opportunity, goes by the wayside. Carfagna, Dunlap, that one blocked up by Lawback. Fink gains speed, 2-on-1. Aiden Fink rips it, big save by Turnus.
You like the shot there because the defenseman in this sequence, McBrayer, he takes away the pass. You see him fading off to Genev. He doesn't want to give up the pass. Maybe if you're Fink, you shoot it off the pad to try and get the pad off the pass, or pass off the pad, apologies. They call it the pop pass in hockey. Doesn't do it. Tries to pick that little six hole is what you call it, right underneath the glove there above the pad. It was a well-played shot, but can't beat him. You look at the save percentages tonight. Both goalies north of 95%. They've been exceptional.
Better save percentages than last night when both were in the 800, says Fontaine. Skates around. Gets it to Wahlberg. Back down low. Hits the skates of DeGraves. Went to Fontaine. Hit the side of the net. Riley Thompson collects. Thompson up top Wahlberg. T.O. Wahlberg. That one blocked by DeMarsico. DeMarsico able to keep it away from Wahlberg. Here's Weebush at center ice. J.J. Weebush skates around Wahlberg, in on Turnus, rebound, score! Nick DeGraves gives Penn State the 2-1 lead. The first collegiate goal for DeGraves, 4-game point streak, and the freshman has Pagula rocking.
I'm pretty sure he just did the dab down the handshake line by the Penn State bench. What a move! J.J. Weebush exposing the triangle there of Wahlberg, works around power forward, shovels one on cage, and then DeGraves following it up, getting to the net. That's where you have to go if you want to score, and he finds it out with his first career goal, and that's a huge one. The crowd's finally back. They're here. It's the first time since the Genev goal.
2-1, the Nittany Lions lead. Not a better time for your first career goal than right there. Nick DeGraves, a freshman forward out of Edmonton, Alberta, in his 18th collegiate game, picks up his 4th point. And the Nittany Lions have momentum. They've got life, the crowd into it. The record-setting crowd sees the freshman give him the lead, and now a huge hit. Dowiak on Smith. Now Dowiak plays it up to Amon. Around the glass. Lewis loses it in center ice. Shade will throw it to the back corner. Nittany Lions controlling their offensive side. Right on cue, Christensen has to play it in the neutral zone. 2-1, 2:45 to go. Penn State looking to make it a 5-point weekend and climb out of the 7th and bottom spot in the Big Ten. Get themselves in prime position. That's 6th seed. As them and Notre Dame battle for the final spot over these next couple games, but it's more importantly for Penn State that they're playing their best hockey in this second half of the season, a team that had high expectations, but some tough luck early in the season threw them off their desired path.
If Ohio State enters clean, Turnus is going to go to the bench.
Carfagna enters. Carfagna's shot blocked into the corner. No signs of movement yet from Turnus. As Penn State comes away with the puck, Keaton Peters. Peters across the red line, pinned up against the boards by Guzzo Hard. Under 2 minutes to go. Puck finds the side of the net. Turnus trying to cover, he can't. Battle now behind the cage. Paquette and Guzzo, potentially a high stick, nothing called. Centering attempt that time from Amon gets turned aside.
Guzzo's shaken up for Ohio State.
Guzzo certainly took a stick high from Tyler Paquette. Refs missed it. As Paquette at that blue line. Instead it's DeMarco. DeMarco all alone in the attacking side. Now Penn State's got DeGraves off his first collegiate game. Thompson ties up DeMarco. DeMarco manages to keep the puck, gets it to Wiebusch. His shot goes wide to the right. 74 seconds left. Penn State keeps in their attacking side right at the blue line. Tough play from the freshman DeGraves. And now DeGraves goes down. Nittany Lion fans looking for another penalty. They won't get one. Ohio State comes the other way. Turnus to the bench. Here comes Thompson. Thompson tied up. Good, strong defensive play. Cleared back down low by Lawback into the Ohio State bench. And with 52.5 to go, we have a stoppage. And it's going to be attacking zone face-off for Ohio State.
They're going to call a timeout. They're going to wait. Guzzo's taking the draw. Montez on the inside with Thompson. That's Ohio State's lineup.
Guzzo 5 of 10 on face-offs against Peters. He wins it. Carfagna to Montez. Montez shot swallowed up Sergeyev. 46.3, just 6 seconds off the clock. Keaton Peters 7 of 11 now on the face-offs. Guzzo 6 of 11.
Yeah, Peters off now, Schoen on because it's a clean face-off loss. That's what Penn State's going to do. They're going to keep changing guys up.
Schoen just 6 of 15 on the face-offs. It remains Guzzo on the other side, 6 of 11.
Both on their backhand side, which is their strong side. That's why the change is made.
Guzzo wins another one. Carfagna back towards the blue line. Now Fontaine. Back to Carfagna at the Big Ten logo. Far side Montez. Carfagna, his shot, deflects on. Sergeyev turns it aside. Fontaine goes and gets it in the corner. Genev plays it up. Carfagna keeps it in. Burnside to Montez. Montez shot. That one free. Opportunity for Fontaine. He backhands it to Burnside. Score! Patrick Guzzo ties it for the Buckeyes. Puck left free out in front. Burnside finds Guzzo, and the Buckeyes stun Pegula.
I told you, it's one of two people. It's Thompson or it's Guzzo. It's whoever's in front. Guzzo takes away the ice. Pucks are bounced around. Penn State guys are selling out. You can't do that. You have to stay tight. You can't go on all fours diving at pucks. Guzzo standing right on the doorstep again, scores a goal late. That's where you have to be to score goals in college hockey. You got to get to the blue paint, and that's what Guzzo's done all weekend long. That's why he's got a couple here this weekend.
2-2 with 21 seconds to go. Potentially another overtime experience coming for the Pagula crowd. But still 21 to go. Ohio State has the momentum on their side now. Their 26th shot of the night ties the game at 2. 26 shots for the Nittany Lions as well. Face-off, one back by Ohio State. That's the reason they tied it. They're able to control back-to-back face-offs in the Nittany Lion defending side. Burnside and Fontaine get credited with the assist. As it comes free, Ong misses wide. McBrayer chance for the rebound, but the siren will sound, and we are heading to overtime for the second consecutive night. Both teams get a point. So a 3-point weekend now for the Nittany Lions, 2-point weekend for the Buckeyes, and the 6-point will be decided in overtime or the shootout.
Once again, it's 3-on-3 overtime. It's a period of the long change, and it's possession. We talked about it last night. For those of you that weren't with us last night here on Big Ten Plus, whichever team wins the opening faceoff, they may go for a rush early, but the biggest thing in 3-on-3 hockey is controlling the pace of play, controlling possession. So you'll see guys in the offensive zone carry in, then take it all the way back to their own defensive zone. Last night, Penn State even used Sergeyev at one point to pass it all the way back.
Free hockey coming your way on the flip side here on Big Ten Plus. Forwards out there against Montez. And two defenders, Carfagna and McBrayer, out there for the Buckeyes. Penn State looking to pick up a victory, which would just be their second in conference play as Mack finds room. Mack, that's a big one, turned aside by Turnus. Fink goes into that corner, had it. Now Carfagna lost it. Mack puts one on, glove down by Turnus. So two opportunities quick for Simon Mack, the lone defender on the ice. Interesting strategy. One defender for Penn State, two for Ohio State. The difference is a lot of offense has been generated from that Ohio State blue line, not just this weekend, but this season.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance somebody between both blue lines is going to factor in on the game-winning goal here. Both defensive cores have been great in this series. Casey Almond out there right now for Penn State, William Smith out there for the Buckeyes.
Guzzo and Schoen, the two in the circle. Schoen wins it back, but a nice play by Smith to go and chase it and get it. Burnside with it. Burnside and Smith now to the far side. Good stick in the way. Looking for the pass to Guzzo. Ben Schoen turned it to the corner. Now Genev comes away with it behind the net of Sergeyev. Gets it up to Casey Almond. Almond slows down, gets it to Genev, near side circle. Genev will skate it back to the neutral zone just as the Nittany Lions did a night ago. 50 seconds gone and 3-on-3 overtime. Ben Schoen looking for the clean entry. He's got it. Schoen turns it back and puts it in the neutral zone to Genev. Nittany Lions will get Mack and DeMarco on the ice. Mack cuts to the near side. A little trouble as it looked like he was going to go to DeMarco, decided not to in center ice. Now he gets it to him. DeMarco on the far side takes a shot. Good stick in the way that time from Smith. Sent it high and to the neutral zone.
Ohio State's gas. These guys have been out there for a while now.
We saw this last night, led to a fantastic opportunity for Penn State that was snipped aside by Christopher Eberle. Now DeMarco skates in. Save made by Turnus and a trip on Wiebusch. And the puck to the neutral zone. Mack re-enters. Ohio State gas. That shot goes wide of Turnus.
Guzzo's the only fresh body out there right now. Smith can barely move. He's going to the puck right now.
He plays it back to Hong. Fresh out on the ice. Now all fresh skaters for both sides. Hong with it, trying to work around Fink. Hong throws on the brakes, far side circle. On the boards, Hong skates into the center. Keeps going. Fink threw him off his path. Hong keeps it on his stick. Possession everything in overtime. 2:40 to go in the period. And Ohio State will go to the neutral zone. Now Hong near side boards. Mishandled the puck a tiny bit as Hanson Bucata's got it at center ice. Play it back to Gunnar Wolf Fontaine. Hands it to Max Montez. Montez enters the zone against Lugris, or rather that Fink. And Montez retreats back to center.
They're trying to change bait Penn State right there. That's smart from Montez, trying to get Fink to go off the ice there, trying to pull him away.
Carfagna passes it up the ice to Montez. Montez back to Carfagna. Carfagna got a lane. Has to throw on the break, spins back around on the near side circle. Gunnar Wolffontein, his shot goes wide. He goes all the way back out right in front of the Penn State bench, allowing the Nittany Lions to change at least Aiden Fink. Now Carfagna. Carfagna leaves it behind. Montez, good stick by Schoen. Schoen. 2-on-0. Schoen got law back. Score! Penn State wins. Upsets in Happy Valley. Nittany Lions with a 4-point weekend. Lawback ends it in overtime. A record-setting crowd at Pagula explodes. The Nittany Lions have their second Big Ten win of the season. They've got their 4th point of the weekend, and they have risen from the dead. They're playing their best hockey, and Lawback seals the deal.
If we get one more look at the replay here on the goal, watch Ben Schoen's stick. Ben Schoen pulls it back to make it look like he's about to shoot before sliding it over backdoor to Lawback for a free one-timer. Dunlap was on his horse trying to get back, but it's just an unfortunate turnover at the blue line. We're going to get a look here in a second as these teams go through the handshake line.